Hello everyone, Chaos here, and welcome to another old-school RuneScape video. Today, my Leviathan guide. Released as a repeatable boss for Desert Treasure 2, the Leviathan is fought at the Scar, which plays a key role during the Temple of the Eye quest. It features lightning-fast attacks to practice prayer flicking, and will have you running around an arena that looks like a brain. Other than Desert Treasure 2, you won't need anything else to comfortably farm the boss. But the amount of quests needed to even start this adventure wouldn't fit on the screen. So, make sure to tackle them bit by bit. The Leviathan is no joke, and the minimum gear we'll be looking at requires 80 ranged, 76 magic, 70 defense, 77 prayer, and 70 agility. This is so we can wear the very popular Bofa and the crystal armor, which surprisingly does pretty well. In order to camp it more easily, get at least 90 in each stat, as every level will help you deal more damage and last longer. Remember that the higher your prayer level, the more prayer points you will restore per doses of your prayer potions. The first gear and setup is what I personally recommend to farm this boss more comfortably, and features the Bofa with crystal armor, Anguish, Bearer's gloves, Blessed the high boots, and that's pretty much it. Your inventory will consist of a rune pouch with the best shadow spell you can cast, an emergency teleport, and then take 1 bastion, 1 stamina, a few prayer potions, and to take Karambwans and sharks for combo food in case you mess up. When you make more money, our main source of damage will come out of a Zerite crossbow with ruby bolts. Take full Masori, Zerite band braces, Pegation boots, a light bearer, and your Avas assembler. In your inventory, take a web weaver bow and the same supplies as before. For this, I bring 5 prayer potions and 4 Karambwans. I will show you how to get there from best to worst. After unlocking the Scarred tablet and using it on your Ring of Shadows, you will be teleported just south of the boss room. If you have an Amulet of the Eye, teleport to the Guardians of the Rift lobby and have the Rift Guardian teleport you to the Scar. You can also teleport to the Wizard's Tower via the Necklace of Passage just outside the tower, or by using the Fairy Ring code DIS to be placed just south and then run inside. Then go down the stairs into the portal. This is by far the most convenient boss to get to if you don't have a direct teleport, as the other bosses are a pain in the ass. I recommend the plugin Ground Markers to mark a few important tiles on the arena we will be using for some of the mechanics. You may find them in a Google Drive document linked in the description below, or simply mark them manually. The plugin called Monster HP Percentage will let you see the number above the health bar, and will more easily notify you when the boss is about to approach the enraged phase, so you can properly prepare for the final stretch. The very first mechanic is the Leviathan's basic attacks. When you first enter the arena, it will launch green and blue orbs every 3 ticks, for which you will have to protect against ranged and magic respectively. After a short period of time, it will let out a massive roar, causing rocks to fall from above, which you will have to avoid by moving just 1 tile. Some rocks will fall and crumble, and others will stay on the arena, which will act as obstacles for what's coming up. The Leviathan will then speed up its attacks, doing it every 2 ticks. The next time it does this, orange orbs will start appearing, and you will need to pray melee against these. For the next cycle, it starts getting pretty crazy, and it will attack you with both ranged and magic every single tick. If you thought that was bad, the next cycle will also include orange orbs, and this is where we stop it. After our next roar, use a shadow spell on it to stun the beast, and then run behind it to get to the weak spot. If you don't do this, the attacks will start getting ridiculously fast. For the next mechanic, we have 2 special attacks, both of which can happen after you hit the Leviathan's weak spot. Make sure to read your chat to see which one is coming up, and for the lightning attack, simply run around in circles in the inner part of the arena to avoid little orbs falling down. You can attack when you're far away from the dangerous tiles, but I will show you a more advanced method for this in the extra tips section. For now, if you're just getting started, running around will do the trick. The second special attack is a little trickier, as the Leviathan will start throwing rocks at your current location, all of which will stay on the arena for the remainder of the kill. It will do so every tick, and after a short duration, it will stop doing it, and you will have to get behind the rocks to avoid a massive explosion which will deal heavy damage. After the special attack, the Leviathan will slow down a little bit, and will return to a 2-tick attack cycle, and continue ramping up as it did before. So make sure to stun it when you feel comfortable. The main takeaway from this is that the better you are at prayer flicking, the less special attacks you will have to deal with. On the other hand, you can stun it as much as you would like, but the fight will take longer as the special attacks are going to take too much of your time. The final mechanic is the enraged phase. This will happen when the Leviathan reaches 20% hit points, and you will have to juggle 3 things at once. The first one is that the attacks will start coming out every 2 ticks, and the second one is that rocks will start falling at a quicker pace, but this time they won't stay on the arena permanently. For the last one, you will notice a big orb spawning in one corner of the arena. You will have to stay near this orb to avoid chip damage, otherwise every attack will hit you through prayer. You know you're doing it correctly if your character starts glowing. Also, if you do this, it will be easier to hit the boss, as it is speculated that you gain accuracy when staying near the orb. This is the perfect time to use a Web Weaver special attack, as 2 special attacks will most likely finish off the Enrage phase in 2 hits. If you don't have a Web Weaver bow, stick to the Bofa, and keep praying correctly until the Leviathan reaches 0 HP. If this was difficult to follow, here we have an example kill in minimum gear, so I hope you enjoyed. Okay, Scapers, time for the Leviathan. As you saw at the beginning of the video, this is the minimum recommended setup, and if you cannot afford a Web Weaver bow, then definitely bring a blowpipe and swap out the Lightbearer for another ring of your choice. You're going to go ahead and pot up with both a Divine Ranging Potion, Bastion Stamina, and we're of course going to start. Now, the very first thing I'm going to show you is how the 5 attack cycle starts. As you can see, this one is going to be extremely comfortable at a 3 take cycle. Every green orb is going to be ranged, every blue orb is going to be magic, and of course, the next one is going to be every 2 ticks. This is going to be really helpful at other places where you need to prayer flick, and it is going to show you a lot of things, or I guess teach you. The next one is going to be still 2 tick attack cycle, but now we're going to be protecting against the melee as well for the orange orbs. The next one is where it starts to get pretty wild, and as you can see, it will be every 1 tick. 3, 4, 5, 6. This one I'm getting kind of spooned. I recommend you do not do this if you're not comfortable with it, but in the next cycle I'm going to show you. Now we're going to start with 3, and then we go for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to stun it right away, otherwise it is going to get even faster, and that is exactly where I am personally comfortable with. All the chip damage, it would be a really good time to save up, and yeah, just go ahead and stand on one corner. You're going to turn on your public chat, and the first attack is going to be Debris. So you're going to run, not too bad, and then you're going to start running towards one of these. Make sure you're not trapped by the rocks, otherwise you're going to have to teleport out, and it is going to go back to the 2 tick cycle. And then, of course, after that, we're going to start seeing the melee orb and whatnot. But this time, I am going to stun it, like, you know, maybe after the 2 attack cycle, just to show you. This is basically what I would recommend you see and, like, maybe test out before. So you can actually find where you are comfortable. And yeah, just basically go for this one. It's going to be the 1 tick cycle. And like I said before, if you're not comfortable with this, if your connection is not good enough, this is potentially where you want to stop. Now, I am going to stop here as well, so I can show you the other special attack, if my clicks are good enough, actually. And we're going to start running. Now, you want to get there as fast as possible. You know, you have a bit of time, but then now, just look at what's going to happen, right? You want to stay behind it. It's going to start moving towards you, and then you're going to attack it, go to this corner, and then start running now, I believe. If you take just 1 hit, you're going to be on cycle. 3, 4, 5, attack, and then go back. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's going to be this one. You're going to attack and use the special attack. Make sure to pray correctly. This one could be a little difficult because you're going to have to move, but as long as you do this correctly with a double Web Weaver bow and a Lightbearer, that is going to be your Leviathan KC. Alright, with that out of the way, let's check a few extra tips for the Leviathan for you to maximize your kills per hour as you get more and more comfortable with the boss. The very first one is what I mentioned during the Lightning Special. If you mark these tiles on the arena and start moving back and forth like this, you may hit the Leviathan on both corners, which maximizes damage. The timing for it is a little weird, but you will get it eventually. I recommend staying on the edges of the arena when you are not dealing with a special attack. This way, when rocks are falling between the Leviathan's attack cycles, will stay out of your way for when you need to run in circles for either the lightning attack and also for when you are following the orb at the end. When the Leviathan is stunned, you don't need to go exactly behind it to attack the weak spot, as the angle from which you can attack it from the back is fairly moderate. If you're taking long enough to attack, it will wake up and the attack speed will remain as it was before you stunned it. When you deal with a rock special attack, try to end at a horizontal area on the arena. This way, if you're behind a rock, it will guarantee your protection, because if you find yourself in the diagonal spot, there is a chance the explosion will still catch you and you will take unnecessary damage. For the awakened version of the Leviathan, it will have dramatically increased stats and start its attacks in the second cycle, meaning it will launch orbs every 2 ticks and follow the same pattern as before. Also, when you cast the shadow spells, the stun duration is going to be cut in half, which gives you less time to hit the weak spot. The most important addition is that at some point during the fight, a tornado will appear and it's going to stay on the arena for the remainder of the fight. If it catches up to you, it will deal extreme damage, and it will respawn after a few ticks. When it comes to loot, the reward mechanics are not yet fully known at the time of making this video, so GP per hour will be pretty inconsistent. All you need to know is that these bosses feature garbage loot, but can also drop valuable noted items that will be more than enough to cover your supplies. For the special loot, we are looking at Virtus pieces and the chromium bars dropped from all of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses. And more specifically for Leviathan, we are looking for the Venator Vestige for the new Venator ring, and the Leviathan's lure for the Soul Reaper axe. And of course, you can't forget about the pet, Little Leviathan. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and for making it this far. If you did, let me know if you enjoyed this boss and if you will be camping it for the pet and its expensive uniques. A massive thank you to all my channel members. You boys and girls have no idea how much my wife and my puppy appreciate your support, and I hope I continue delivering entertaining content for you all. If you'd like to be part of this list of legends, click the join button below to subscribe to the channel monetarily and earn a bunch of cool perks and rewards in the videos, in the live streams, and in the Discord. Stay tuned for the next video, as we will see how to easily dispose of our Dorvis on Thursday and showing you everything I have learned from it. Have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I will see you then. Peace.